everybody, I feel really honoured to introduce a legend of the women's game. And I know you're going to hate this, Hedvig, that I'm going to brag about you, but please indulge me for just 1 minute. 169 caps for Sweden, the most caps for a Swedish goalkeeper ever. Swedish goalkeeper of the year 5 times, nominated for the PFA Player of the Year 2016. Goalkeeper in the WSL Team of the Year 2016. I'm not done yet. Sweden's Player of the Year 2015. FA Cup winner times 2. Is that right? WSL title winner with Chelsea. Oh, and a couple of bronze medals at the World Cup. Is that right?
Yeah, a silver.
Just a couple.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff there. I think you missed a few of the goalkeeper of the year, but that's okay.
I like it. I wish I could be that fierce. Missed a couple actually, but I like it a lot. Thank you so much for coming on to talk, but we're not here to talk about your illustrious career. We're here to talk about the charity that you founded, the One Goal.
The idea is to provide people like yourself, people that really follow the game, the women's game, and would like to have some kit or really just a jersey or something from a player. And we wanted to fill a little bit of a gap there in the market, I guess. So, and then you add the fact that it's been worn by players, then you add a little bit of value, and then you can own your own piece of history if you're really into the game.
So first of all, the Newcastle United section. I am a massive Newcastle United fan, and I have, at the last count, 37 Newcastle shirts. I don't really like getting jerseys with the names on the back. Like, I prefer the ones that haven't got it, and occasionally I stupidly get my own name put on the back, which I always regret.
I'm a big fan of World Women's Football, and I can't get hold of an NWSL shirt, for instance. There's just no way that I can get hold of one. It's difficult to get hold of a Wolfsburg women's shirt, for instance, as an example. And as a sort of fan of that, and they've got such a unique kit that I was like, it's hard to get hold of these pieces, but you guys have some pretty amazing pieces up on your website.
One that I'm very proud of that I have is the jersey from Abby Wambach. I got it through a friend, like someone who played with her. I don't think I ever dared to ask Abby herself, but I have her jersey. I'm very proud of that because as a goalkeeper, Abby was kind of like the benchmark. If you could claim a cross from Abby, then you knew if you could claim a cross against her, you're good. That was always when I trained. I need to be able to win against Abby, and I have her jersey, so I'm very happy about that. Another jersey I have is from Nadine Angere, which is the former German goalkeeper who have won a number of medals with the German team. And I went up to her, all the German goalkeepers, when I was third goalkeeper in the Swedish squad in our home Euro. And I just asked if anyone wanted to change with me, because I wasn't the starting goalkeeper, so I thought maybe the third one wants to change. And then Angela said to me, like, yeah, I would love to change the jersey with you. And then I felt very much respect, like goalkeeper to goalkeeper, if you know what I mean. So if in terms of my own jerseys, that would mean something. I played for so long before most people even knew that women's football existed. Some hardcore ones for sure, but the big mass of people didn't care so much, meaning there weren't a lot of kits to get a hold of from those teams. When I left the team, I didn't get a jersey, so there is no jersey as a proof that I played in many of those teams. But when I went to Chelsea, here's one of my Chelsea jerseys, and this one is from the FA Cup.
Oh, cool!
And
was that the Notts County game? Was it?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that you made a couple of really crucial saves as well, if I recall, because it was a really good Notts County team.
It must have been like that. I can't remember.
You did.
But anyway, it was the first time the women's final was put on display on Wembley, and I was fortunate enough to play and win. So it was a great memory, and also actually one of the first jerseys that I got to keep from my club team. Honestly, it's like this is 2015, and I started playing in the Swedish Damallsvenskan 2001. So you can imagine how many seasons that I don't have a kit from.
So in all of the finals from sort of 2014-15 on, were you allowed to keep your kits after that? Quite a lot of them, or for the big games?
I can't remember when we started to get the kit from like the national team, but it's not been so very long. And lately, when we've signed new contracts with the federation, then we've asked to keep more jerseys. So in the last few seasons, it's grown big time. That's why partly also the one goal, so that we can do something good with all these jerseys that we get now.
Other than Newcastle, the other jersey that I collect quite a lot of is Barcelona. I've always been a massive fan of Barcelona, and I finally got my wish to go to the new camp and see Leo Messi a couple of seasons ago with some of my best friends. I've got jerseys from almost every era. My two most recent jerseys are actually really old ones. So I got this last week, and it's just kind of a classic, and it was such an iconic team. And the other one is also an old one. It's the original PSG Opal kit. I've got the recent one to sort of compare it. This has got Mbappe on the back.
So, but one jersey I would like, or two more that I would like to mention from my own playing days are kind of these two. They are connected. One is from the Olympics, the Rio Olympics, when we played against the US and all those penalties, and it was me against Hope Solo, and Hope Solo was kind of the person in the way for me to reach my big goal, to be the best goalkeeper in the world. And we were victorious, and we were the first ones to beat the US ever in a quarterfinal stage. No one had ever done it historically. They've always been in a semifinal. So this was history written, and this is a story in itself. We need to take that another day, but that means a lot. But this one, it might not look so much, but I noticed I wore this one when we played against the Netherlands a little bit earlier that year in the qualifiers to the Olympics, because really we were not good enough the year before to qualify for the Olympics. So we had to be in a playoff with between 4 countries, and this jersey, the green one, I wore against the Netherlands in the last game. And the thing was, if we drew or won, we would go through. If they won, they would go through. And the final score was 1-1. But in the last minutes of the game, or last few minutes of the game, Miedema has this big one-on-one with me. And if she scores this goal, or if she scores this chance, they go to the Olympics. But she shoots it this much over the bar, and we go to the Olympics, and then, we get the silver medal.
So did you close the space down, or like what was your instinct in your head? Were you like, I've just got to close this space?
Oh,
what were you
well,
thinking?
we were lifting our team. The ball went up, and then I think we played with three central defenders, so 2 wing backs as well. So we had 5 in a row, but some of our central defenders were not as quick to react as Miedema, that, we lost the ball and it comes quickly and deep. So all I was thinking was stand. If we would have had it somewhere like just on goal, it would have been a goal, because you know how good she is.
Are you just thinking, it's Miedema, anyone else in the world but Miedema?
Exactly. It was...
and that was it.
When that situation was done, we all just fell to the ground and kind of started laughing. It's like, oh my God, what was that? Like,
and that was it, you were through. So like when you see that shirt and you hold that shirt, you just think of that moment, right?
Yeah, it's such a story. One have to almost write that down in a book, the whole Olympic qualifiers and the Olympic games and all that.
For you as a player, obviously the shirts have meaning because you're stood there on the pitch looking out to a stadium full of people. And for me as a fan, like holding, if I've got the brand new Lionesses shirt, I just think of, what you did to the Lionesses in the World Cup. No, I'm joking. But I just think of that tournament and being over in France and the memories it holds, and holding a beer outside the stadium with my friends and laughing in the sunshine. And it's these things that for me, make it so special about owning these pieces, because it's memories and it's history and it's special, you know.
I've got the most recent Lioness jersey, which is becoming very quickly iconic for its red rose design. But some of the details in this jersey, it's just probably one of the most iconic jerseys, and it'll go down in history, this jersey. It's an absolute beauty.
They call it memorabilia for a reason, right?
I
feel like we haven't had that so much in the women's game. So that was the idea with the one goal, that yes, we can provide it to the ones who follow, but also it actually helps to put some players' names on the map as well. If you're fortunate enough to play for a big club, your name will be out there and on your Instagram and all of these things. But so many clubs are not seen. There's no visibility. So I'm not claiming that we're a big platform yet, but eventually maybe we can also feel a little bit of a need there to get players' names out there, to add to the lack of visibility for female athletes, footballers. And then another part of the one goal is that the money that we get from the kit, we try to put as much as possible into the women's game, as much as possible, or at least women and girls, some sports, you know. So in less fortunate situations, we can help add, some money to ease their everyday life and build great characters, women to work on their self-confidence, and who knows, maybe there will be the next star in one of those groups, or if not, maybe their lives are just a little bit easier.
That's amazing. To anybody at home that wants to go and check out the organisations that they are supporting, go and check out the onegoal.org, and you can see all of the sort of projects that they've been helping to support over the last couple of years, and it is pretty incredible, guys. So I want to know a little bit more about your auction right here, right now. So have you got an item on the auction that is one that you would buy if you were me? Because I'm a big fan of buying auctioned items.
Well, the auction that I would feel most with right now is, obviously we're all in this COVID-19 situation together, and Daniela and I are trying to put together an auction that would where the money would go to the WHO.
Wow.
Mainly. I think we've discussed that 80% of all the money raised would go to the WHO, and then 20% could go back to players, because many players are struggling now financially, but also psychologically. So maybe, at least, I'm not saying that it would be a lot of money, but some money in would be maybe nice. And if you are a player that, if we have players on board on this auction that feel like, no, I'm okay with financially, then they can decide to maybe donate that either to WHO or to one of our partner organizations.
When you look at all of the items you've got available, so the football shirts, the gloves, the boots, and all the signed items, which one for you sort of stands out? Which player player's item do you think is the coolest that you've got right now?
I think that any item that is up from Ramona Bachmann is worth mentioning. I think not only is she an amazing football player, when she joined Chelsea, the first friendly game she played, I was just like, wow, that's when she plays her best football, it's some sort of artwork. It's really beautiful. But also she's a nice girl, really down to earth, and she was very generous to our organization. She came in with a huge donation to.
I've got my eyes on her football boots.
Yeah.
Keeping a close eye on that.
Yeah, maybe you get to play as good as her if you use them.
I doubt it. And if you could choose, is my final question, and then I'll let you get on with probably putting the children to bed and whatnot. If you could choose one football shirt of a player in the world of women's football that you could own or donate to your website, whose shirt would it be and why? It can be a historical player or it can be a current player.
Yeah, I think I would like to go with historical players more, because I think they deserve recognition for what they've done. Unfortunately, like I said, even me playing just like 10 years ago, it was hard to get kit. But if there are kit from older players out there that would somehow make their way to the one goal, like all of those items, we would gladly put up for auction on our website. I'm thinking someone like Birgit Prinz, maybe, or Michelle Akers, or I actually, when we talk about this, I have Tiffany Milbrett. I have a jersey from her, and those things are so rare and so cool that I think those true women's football fans will really value it. And for those that have no idea who I'm talking about right now, hopefully we can fill a void there to kind of tell the story of the women's game as well, because some of these players were, or many of these players were amazing. Someone like Gary Frekes, for example, would be really cool. Kerstin Gary Frekes, that played in
which league?
She played in the German national team, and she was amazing. Like, there's so many people. Like, I'm just picking some from
So
from
for
there.
me, it's funny because you talk about it, and obviously with the connection to the shirts, and one's being rare and one's not. When I look at the collection that you showed me a few minutes ago, the one that stands out to me that I'm like, I want that. Hedvig, you need to give that to me, is the Olympic one, because that is such a rare piece of history. So imagine, to get it from a player, that played for, it was part of their college team, and, before they reached the NWSL, that sort of shirt, to get hold of a shirt like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, we've got some amazing players now that can get a shirt after every game, that play for Lyon or whatever. But these rare shirts like that Olympic one, that's like got me going, that's the sort of shirt I want to get my hands on.
Yeah, I know. And I think sometimes that will drive price, of course, and ideally we get the money, a lot of money for the auction, so we can donate more money. But it's also important for us to sometimes maybe do a raffle, or do some other way of get hold of these items, because we realize it's gonna exclude a lot of people when the prices go really high. So one should really follow to see when does these raffle things happen, where you can maybe donate £1 and then, or something like that, and then see if your number gets drawn or something. So we're trying to think of creative ways to reach a bigger audience as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And thank you so much for talking to me about the One Goal. Everybody should go and check out theonegoal.org and to go and see the collection and everything that they've been doing for different organizations all over the world. But Hedvig, thank you so much as the founder of the One Goal for coming on to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for taking your time and showing so much interest in what we're doing. It's really inspiring.
Awesome, thank you.